recording, the total number of transactions on X402 had barely surpassed $50,000. 7 months ago, I made a video about what the future of AI agents paying for stuff on the internet might look like. And this was the state of play. There were 500,000 total transactions on X402. X402 is Coinbase's experimental payment protocol for AI agents. Today, Coinbase reports 50 million transactions. Now, if we strip out the wash trading and the artificial volume, then X402 has done around roughly $10 million in real cumulative payments, and that's about a 200x increase in 7 months. Now, they say a week is a long time in politics. Well, I say a day is a long time in AI, let alone 7 months. And it's not just crypto. Stripe now lets AI agents sign up as paying customers. An agent can then create a Cloudflare account, buy a domain, and deploy code. Things have moved fast. So today we're looking at the state of play for AI agents and payments. So here's what I was talking about back then. Tell your AI assistant, hey, book me the cheapest flight to Tokyo next week, under $800, and grab a hotel near the airport, budget-friendly, good reviews. You fall asleep and your agent gets to work. It searches 17 airline websites, finds a deal on booking.com, checks 43 hotels, negotiates with 3 of them, finds you a place with a 4.8 star rating for $90 a night. Perfect. And then it stops. It shows you the cart, asks you to manually enter your credit card, manually verify, manually click through 3 security checks. You can also see that at the time of recording, the total number of transactions on X402 had barely surpassed $50,000. That's really, really crazy how early we are. That was the landscape in 2025. So X402 has grown a lot. Coinbase will tell you the numbers are 165 million transactions and $50 million in cumulative volume. Those are their official figures. Now, for accuracy, I think if we dig into the on-chain data, specifically the analysis from Artemis, they say roughly half the transactions are artificial. That's self-dealing, where the same wallet is both the buyer and the seller, wash trading, where funds just cycle between addresses. So when you filter all that out, 81% of the dollar volume disappears. So the real number could be closer to $10 million. Either way, it's still a 200x increase from where we were, which is impressive. Now, Coinbase and Cloudflare co-founded the X402 Foundation to push the standard forward. Amazon Web Services integrated X402 into Bedrock Agent Core, which is the first major cloud platform shipping native crypto micro payment rails for AI agents. And Coinbase launched Agentic Market. That's essentially an app store where AI agents can buy and sell digital services using X402. So Coinbase are literally spinning up the infrastructure for AI payments. They're reshaping the internet. Traditional payment providers are also waking up. This April, Cloudflare and Stripe launched agent provisioning. An AI agent can now go to Cloudflare, create an account, start a paid subscription, register a domain name, get an API key, and then deploy a full application. End to end, there's no human involved. And this is all built on Stripe projects, which is currently in open beta. So we've gone from this space where agents can buy anything to agents can be the customers. So if agents can spend money, you need to know whose money they're spending. Is there a real person behind this? And that's where the trust layer comes in. Cloudflare and Visa have co-developed the Trusted Agent Protocol. It lets payment networks verify that there's an actual human who authorized the agent to transact, and it launched in October. Now, Experience launched Agent Trust at the end of April, a verifiable link between a consumer and their AI agent. And of course, MasterCard is jumping in there and is in the mix too. So then, we've got this emerging stack. We've got Stripe handling the billing, Visa and MasterCard handling the payment rails, and Experian handling identity. So all of these systems are designed for a world where AI agents are transacting on behalf of humans. There's an interesting tension here though. Crypto wants permissionless payments with no gatekeepers, but of course traditional finance wants verified human authorized transactions. Now my bet is that they're going to coexist. We'll need micropayments for things like a 20-cent API call, which will go through X402, but for buying a domain, which is $12, I think that's more likely to go through Stripe and Visa. Now I want to flip this to the other side. So far, we've been talking about agents paying for services. What happens if agents are paying for content? Now, Everybody has heard about AI companies mass scraping the internet to train their models. It's a much talked about topic, and as you would expect, this divides publishers a lot. Some publishers hate scraping. They feel like it's going to put them out of business and destroy search altogether. And that was the thinking behind robots.txt, which blocks AI agents from scraping your website. But some are massively in favour. They realise that search is shifting to an LLM-first approach, and that by being helpful to LLMs, implementing an LLM.txt, or indeed implementing our free HTML to Markdown template, which runs in the fast edge, they can get their content served by ChatGPT and Claude while their competitors lag behind. But this tension has never been truly resolved. Last July, Cloudflare started blocking AI crawlers by default across their network. Now remember, Cloudflare sits in front of about 20% of all web traffic. Now that is a huge big door slamming shut. And that blocking is such a big blunt instrument, and it's a decision taken on behalf of millions of users by one of the big players. Now what publishers told the network engineers was this: we don't want to block these crawlers, we want to get paid. So Cloudflare built a pay per crawl. It's in private beta. For every AI crawler that hits your site, you can get 3 options. You can allow it for free, you can charge it, or you can block it completely per crawler. Now Stack Overflow is also using this. Cloudflare also says they've seen 1 billion HTTP 402 responses a day across their network. Now that's not 1 billion agentic payments, that's all 402 traffic across every server behind Cloudflare for any reason. And that is a demand signal, it's not a transaction volume, but it does tell you something, that there's an enormous amount of automated traffic hitting paywalls and content gates every single day. Pay per crawl is the first attempt to turn that traffic into revenue for publishers instead of just blocking it. It's time then to zoom out. 7 months ago, agent payments were a thought experiment. Today, you've got 2 parallel systems up and running, one crypto native, one traditional with real infrastructure from Coinbase, Cloudflare, Stripe, Visa, MasterCard and Experian. And hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, flowing through one already. But remember, agent provisioning through Stripe is in open beta. Pay per crawl is in private beta. The identity layer from Visa and Experian is weeks old. But it does show you that the infrastructure is now miles ahead of the actual usage. And there's a massive opportunity there. And remember, more than half of the internet traffic now is non-human. AI crawlers, bots, agents. They're already out there in enormous numbers. They just can't pay for anything yet. The moment that it becomes as easy for an AI agent to pay 2 cents for an API call as it is for you to tap a card at a coffee shop, I really think the economics of the internet are going to shift on their head. And that is what is coming over the next year. If you are interested in learning more about this, do check out our original video if you want to see where all this started. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more of this. Every subscribe to the channel, every like, every sub really helps us to grow. Now we cover the future of internet and AI infrastructure every week. We've got a free open claw called Gcore with unlimited tokens that's available at the moment. And we've also got a free HTML to Markdown template that can auto convert your website from HTML to Markdown. I put some links in the description for you. I will see you in the next video.